I'm going to show you what I think a button is. Now, many of us have grown up in worlds where we felt, I always start in the middle, invalidated. There were things to say to us, things that were said to us, things that were not said to us, things that were done, things that were not done, that made us feel not enough. Are you with me? Yes? Now, when we have this feeling, what happens is that it creates a sense of vulnerability. This vulnerability, by the way, feelings of less than, feed this feeling of invalidation of not being enough. Now, quite often, the people who helped establish this feeling have fallen away from our lives. But being efficient critters that we are, we often are able to say the things to ourselves that are needed in order to keep this invalidation alive and viable. So there's a lot of invalidating self-talk. So we self-invalidate at some point. Yes? Okay. Now, this is what I believe is under the proverbial button. I mean, you know, if someone walked up to me and said, Loretta, you have a left ear, and? But if someone came up and said something that I had a sensitivity to, you know, or maybe castigated some aspect of my personality that I'm just a little, I'm still processing, you know, with EFT, I might become reactive.
My heart is just pounding, and I'm so mad and hurt. What an, you know, it was just such a mean.
Are you there right now?
Oh, I'm like, oh yeah, 10.
Okay.
I thought I was going to save it up and throw it back at her someday. And if I just let it stay there and stew and build.
I really want to smack her around with my anger.
I really want to throw it right back at her like a big, I don't know, a slingshot.
Yeah. I want to cause my sister pain.
I do. I want to give it back. I want to give it back in a big, huge, vindictive, painful way.
Being really vindictive.
I feel really vindictive.
Man, it would feel so good.
Oh, it would feel really good because then it's two purposes at once. I get rid of it and she gets it.
Oh, yeah. And I get to carry it around for years until I get rid of it.
Oh, I didn't mean to keep it that long.
I really enjoy the idea of being vindictive.
Yeah, I really do enjoy the idea of being vindictive.
I really want to get back at her.
I really want to get back at her.
Yeah, to see her suffer.
To see her suffer.
Being back to the eyebrow, being vindictive.
Being vindictive.
Being vindictive.
Being vindictive.
Being vindictive, corner of the eye. Being vindictive.
Being vindictive.
Being vindictive.
Being vindictive.
Yeah, under the nose. Yeah, here. Here, being vindictive. Oh, it feels, I want to be vindictive. Say that with some certainty. I want to be vindictive.
I want to be vindictive.
Come on, Barbs. Spit it out. I want to be vindictive. No?
No.
No. Oh.
I want her to be okay. I don't want her to hurt. She's hurting. And for her to feel so powerfully fierce in how she said it,
Yeah.
she's just hurting. And now I just feel really sad for her.
Yeah. Yeah. Feeling really sad for her.
Really sad.
Yeah. Such sadness.
Such sadness.
Such sadness.
Such sadness.
Such sadness for my sister.
Such sadness for Phyllis.
Such sadness for Phyllis. Yeah. Yeah. Such sadness for her.
Such sadness.
The sadness I hold for her in my heart.
The sadness that I hold for her in my heart.
Yeah, such sadness.
Such sadness.
Yeah, under the arm. Here. Liver point. Yeah. Let's do our fingers. The sadness.
The sadness.
The sadness.
The sadness.
Yeah, the sadness.
The sadness.
If there's a trace of anger, just say that.
If there's a trace of anger,
I release it.
I release it.
And I reach out to her with love.
And I reach out to her with love.
I embrace her with the love I have for myself.
I embrace her with the love that I have for myself.
We both deserve it.
We do. We both deserve it.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to show you a little, because in interest of time, I think if I were maybe in if I had a little more time, I would really run her through again. But I'm going to show you a relaxation device that often will bring people down from a 2 to a 0 in just a moment. So the gamut spot here, tapping that gamut spot, and what I want you to do is just keep tapping it, and put your head straight ahead, and look at my finger. Just keep tapping. And I'm just asking her to follow my finger up. Okay. Now stop. Deep breath. Where would you put yourself?
With the breath that was gone.
Yeah. So sometimes when you're at a 1 or a 2 and it's like the last 4 or 5 minutes of your session, and you really don't have time to do a complete round, this simple relaxation technique often will dissipate the rest of what's going on. Okay, now let me ask you, do you feel like you've learned something from your sister having punched your buttons?
Yeah. It doesn't matter what she says. She might as well tell me I have 2 eyes. Because that's really just her stating what she knows from her. I don't have to be a victim of her words.
And so what happened is that instead of a bully, if you've learned something, then she did in fact become a teacher.
Oh, wow.
Think about it. The people who drive you, the people who tend to drive us most, well, let me say this. The people who tend to drive me most insane, I think of them as my master teachers.